Alright, let's begin. Hi, and welcome to the Paragon Project's The Beginner's Guide to Improving Your Dating Life. I've just got my hand on this software, so I'm very quite new to it, so I wanted to give this a try, just to help you guys out. This guide, I'm just going to lay things out just how it is. I'm just going to be completely real with you, it's going to be completely realistic, and this is stuff that you can apply right away to improve your dating life. So let's begin. So where do you begin? Well, first of all, if you're an absolute beginner, then I'm going to have to start from the very start with you. Some of you guys are a bit more intermediate and you understand the dating world and the whole dating scene, but for guys who are new to this, I'm going to have to give a quick, brief introduction to it. So, around 20 years ago, this guy named Ross Jeffries, he decided he's going to figure out how can I seduce women, in a scientific way. And this gave birth to what we call now the pickup society, the pickup artist society. So the first thing is, what is dating science? Dating science is basically, we're not going to be like, hey, be confident, just smile or make her laugh. No, this is stuff that you can actually sit down and reproduce over and over again. This is why it's a science. A science is something that you can reproduce. And the dating science is basically, what we have done is we analyzed everything that happens naturally and we've defined it so that you can use it yourself and you can get results with this. In the last 10 years, the game itself has changed so much. In the start, people were all about manipulation or using NLP techniques to make a girl think certain ways. And then it became, when mystery came out, he came up with the mystery method. So it ended up becoming, how can I, get raised to a woman's level by knocking her down and using techniques and routines to make her attracted to me. Well, now the game has evolved. People are picking up on these things. Women know about the game now. They also know about these techniques. So is it the end for you? Of course not. At the Paragon Project, what we've decided is that we're going to teach you how to do it naturally, We're going to make you an attractive person. Why fake being someone who's attractive when you actually are attractive? When you become attractive, then it really has no bearing. If you see a boob, you're going to be attracted. A woman isn't like that. She'll see a man that she finds masculine and she'll find him attractive. That's how it is. So the next part is, who can you trust? Well, a lot of guys out there are out just to get your money. That's the thing. This is why this is a completely free video just for you guys. People out there, they realize that really insecure men, they're just like, they have like this dying need for attention, and they need like someone to give them certainty so they can like feel like they can improve their life. A lot of the pickup products out there are actually designed to hone in on any insecurities you have and make the most of it. So that's how most industries work. What they do is they condition us to feel certain ways, and then they provide us a solution for us to go with. So when it comes to who you can trust, it's very hard to pick who you can trust. There's only a few guys out there in the pickup world that I actually trust. Well, I can say that you can definitely trust the Paragon Project. And I say this because we have guys, none of us are what you call the top ranking guys. We're not the guys who are the biggest marketers out there. We're a nice, small knit community of guys who are very experienced, who do get laid, who do get relationships, and we give solid advice to each other. Now, there are some guys who are beginners and they're giving it their all to try and give advice, but when it comes to trust, you have to trust people who are there not just to take your money. We're people who can offer you value, help you improve your life, and I definitely say, this is from me, personally, in my opinion, that you can trust the Paragon Project. Now, what must you avoid? The number one thing you must avoid is scattering between different information, because all it's going to do is confuse you. If you read stuff from the Paragon Project and then you compare it to something you read from, let's say, another dating company, they may have a totally contradictory thing to what we say. So it will make your mind very confused. What you need to do is you need to stick to one system at a time and try and master it. If it doesn't work for you, then you can move on to something else. And you must also avoid information overload. If you have a pen and paper, write that down. You must avoid information overload. Because if you study and study so much and you don't apply any of this stuff, it just becomes like mud in your brain. And you're like, it just doesn't help. It actually makes things worse because you think you know game, you know how things work, but if you can't perform it, I'm sorry, but you're just a jockey. Let's move on. So, I'm going to go straight into it. What is game? Me, personally, I think game is everything. And game can be split into three things. I've taken this from a model by John Sin. I think he's a great pickup artist, and if you want to check his stuff out, then go for it. But I'm going to just make reference so it doesn't seem like I'm plagiarizing. The game can be split into three separate components. Your lifestyle, your inner game, and your outer game. So let's go briefly about each one. Let's have a look at lifestyle here. I'll move the mouse over it. So lifestyle, what's that? That's the way you take care of yourself. That's the way you live your life. You know, your niche. You know, are you the kind of guy that sits in the house 10 hours a day and lounges around, eats his food, shits, watches a movie, and goes to bed? Now, that's not much of a lifestyle. See, I've included photos of, you know, this woman doing yoga here because I think that's very healthy and attractive. And she's quite attractive. So lifestyle is like all your hobbies, you know, your career, stuff, everything that you put your effort into that makes you who you are, you know, it's your identity. Without that, you cannot attract women. Why? Because if you have a very, very poor lifestyle, what impression can you make? You can have inner game, outer game, you can trick people into believing you're someone who's actually cool, but when people actually see your lifestyle, they're going to realize, hey, this guy's actually not that cool. Now, I'm not saying you need like a rock star lifestyle, you need to be a person who's in a band or an NBA championship player. All I'm saying is you got to be a man of passion. You got to be out there, you know, improving your life, having hobbies, going for what you believe in. That's lifestyle. If you live every single minute of your day making it better, you're going to have a great life. In general, doesn't have to do with game, lifestyle in general. If you take away inner game and outer game, having a lifestyle, a good lifestyle on its own, can get you great results just like that. Now, that can be like even making money, you know, getting fit and healthy, making friends, how often you go out, stuff like that. That's all comes under lifestyle. Now, this is only a brief video, so I'm going to try and just, you know, cram as much as I can for you guys. So, inner game. Now, this is a big topic. Why? It's because when the game first started, when people first started learning game, all they cared about was outer game. So basically, what can you say to sound like this? To sound like someone who's attractive? How can you move your body to seem like someone who's attractive? Well, what inner game is everything that goes on inside your mind. It's your beliefs, it's your confidence, your self-esteem, your ego, all that stuff. Inner game is very important because it lays the foundation for your outer game. But here's the thing, don't get too caught up with inner game. Why? Because why do you think the most newest products in game are all about inner game? Because they know guys are out there 100% focusing on inner game. What they're doing is these guys, you know, everyone goes through it. I went through it myself, but luckily I was able to get out of that before I fell into the trap. And the trap is that you don't need to chase perfect inner game before you can get results. I want you to remember that. You don't have to chase perfect inner game to get results. Why? Because if you're trying to reach this internal state of perfectness that you're never going to reach, then you're always going to have an excuse not to go out and do an approach. I want to give you an example. I want you to remember a time when men believed that you needed to have a nice car, lots of money, a big house, nice clothes, and all that stuff to attract a woman. So what did men do? They spent years of their lives trying to obtain all these assets before they actually go out and talk to women. Now, how does this analogy relate to inner game? Well, this is what most beginning PUAs do in, you know, technically AFCs. They're like, oh, I need to build confidence, or I'm not confident enough, or I don't have enough beliefs yet, you know? So it becomes a comfort zone. So inner game itself can be a trap for you. So you only need enough inner game at the start. If you're a beginner, this is a beginner's guide, by the way. If you're a beginner, you only need enough confidence and belief. You need to change your beliefs enough to know that you can get out there and make a difference right away. And that could be tonight or today, wherever you are. So let's talk about lastly about outer game. You can have all the inner game in the world, but if you're not